everybody, welcome to Into the Wellbeing episode 3. Today I'm very, very happy. I managed to get my friend, Damien. He's actually a property agent as well. He's, I think, 22 this year, and we are very happy to have him on board to share with us a couple of things in his property journey, as well as a few of his motivation hacks that you can, apply in your daily life. So yeah, let's jump into it. So Damien, can you just introduce to the viewers, like what do you do and a bit about yourself?
Hello, hi everybody. First of all, very happy to be here. It's my first interview so yeah, quite honored. But anyways, awesome. I'm 23 this year but still 22. Yeah, but yeah, my name is Damien. I'm a full-time property agent now in PropNex JNA. Yeah, so okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Start from there.
I think we can let the viewers know more about yourself. Like how do you discover this property journey?
Okay.
Because being so young and how do you stumble onto it?
Okay, my mom is a property agent as well since I think 15-16 years already. So a big veteran in the game really. So ever since young I was following her to viewings, this kind of thing. Yeah, but I never really had that thought that I want to be an agent also. Yeah, right. But further on along the line, I feel that I wanted to do something that is of sales Yeah, so sales job. So part-time job, this kind of thing. Usually I will find sales job. Then yeah, and then further then natural progression. Suddenly I just found myself in doing property.
See, did you study like property in school or
no?
So what were you studying?
Business. I was in business and accounting in Ngee.
Okay, then what? Then what? Like, so other than your mom that led you to this jump, right? Was there anything else along the way, or like perhaps you weren't very interested in your course that like allow you to go on this path of being a property agent?
Okay. Yes, very interesting because I've always since young wanted to go to uni. Yeah, but until I was about once I reached poly that time, right? Yeah, then I thought, okay, uni maybe that wasn't for me because I had intern in poly right? During intern. So halfway, something interesting is halfway through our intern, it was a 6-month intern, but 3 months in, I walked out of during lunch. I walked out of the office.
Yeah. Why?
I walked out for real. Never to come back again.
Really walked out and just quit. Because and that was the happiest day of my life. Really. one of the happiest days.
What was so bad about the
because
experience?
It's okay for me. I personally am not really a working in corporate kind of person Yeah.
Quite tight, just like all of us here.
Like following instructions, like very structured learning, right?
But that was a very big wake-up call for me. Yeah, wake-up call for me because
you guys got no job.
Just not for me. Just not for me. Then ventured into. So I know about property, right? Of course, since young, with my mom and everything. So had the thought of it, never really decide. So I went to tried personal training at the time. So I always knew I wanted something that I can control. So income that I can control. That I know may not be stable, but at least I get to control it. So if I want it to be stable, I can make it stable myself, and I don't have to answer to anybody. That's actually the main part. The don't have to answer to anybody part.
Personally, for me, I also had a wake up period when it comes to working corporate work. I think also like it's not really because of an internship experience or working part time per se, but I guess like it comes with self awareness. The more you grow, the more you realize, 我不是做工的料. Right? That's what I realized about myself. So one of the things is I will have ideas and I will come up with a system, but I realize I'm always never the great person to be sticking to that system. Because one day I will either feel very bored about it or I just get lazy with that system. But I'm always very good at coming up with new ways to improve the current system. So that was one thing that made me realize actually entrepreneurship path is for me. It's for me.
Yeah, amazing.
Yes,
so all this also came for me also during the NS period as well. So that's why I asked, like for you, right, it was also during your NS period, which you shared with us earlier, that made you kind of like wake up or like realize that this is the path you want to take, or you want to do something, you make something of yourself. Can you share with all of us here, actually do you have any particular incident, or it was a wave of incidents that made you realize,
I think like what you say is a wave of incidents. It's like onion that slowly peels.
Usually it's not one time.
It's a few. exactly.
Gradual change.
Exactly, because at that poly, at that point in time in poly, I knew that I didn't want to do corporate, but I still don't know what I want to do.
Right.
Yeah, so it was that slowly, the wave, like you said,
Right.
catching up.
You know what you don't want, but you don't know what you want.
Yeah. So
Right.
slowly on, I figured out what I want to do.
Okay.
So the second wave, I would say, is during army, when I didn't get into command school. Yes. So I wanted to chiong at first.
Oh,
you know,
That's the ossifer look.
yeah.
That's the ossifer look.
I didn't went in
Yeah,
because I
that's
think some failed the FFI or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Then also I found myself I wasn't interested in army at all.
Okay.
So like wasn't interested. At all.
So you contemplated signing on?
Signing on?
Is it?
No, command school.
Oh, you want to go command
yeah,
school?
yeah,
Not to sign on,
not
just
sign on.
to-
Yeah. Sign on is
What the
the
heck?
same as corporate. Right?
Yeah, no, that's what I was like.
I don't want comfort by one side.
Extreme corporate.
Yeah, but not insinuating that sign on is not good. Is everybody's
Different,
choice.
different.
Yeah,
Different
that's
choice.
right.
It's just not.
It's just
for
very
me.
different, like
Yeah.
arena.
Yeah, but I see a lot of happy individuals signing on.
Mm.
I made friends with. Yeah, and they're having a good time also. Yeah. So in army, where was I? I started learning about investing. Started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. Right.
Here we go.
It's the same book, right?
The same book I read in army.
Yeah. So I started there. Then slowly learn about content inside. Then slowly build and started to invest in stocks. Then that's the army journey. So I just ORD in November last year. Yeah. So it's everything is really recent.
Yeah.
It's just within these past 3-4 years only. Yeah.
It was the 2 years that made me learn the most. Like I felt like I grew the most in 2 years. Yeah,
for
in
sure.
those 2 years. Okay. Right now we're gonna move into talking a little bit about investments. Okay, I just want to give a bit of disclaimer here. None of us here are professional financial advisors. Okay, so if you guys want to learn more about proper investing and all that, you can go and seek professional advice. We just share what we know over here. Okay, so personally for me, right, in army, I also started to wanting to make something out of my own money. At the time, before army, I anyhow spend money. So in poly, right, whatever I have, I will spend. Yeah, so whatever I have, I will spend. It's all about having fun, all about the
instant gratification.
Instant gratification, the in the moment, what you are doing. But it was in army, then like actually very similar to you. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, but over a few books one book wasn't enough for me.
Learning how
wake
to
up.
money.
I was watching this guy called Graham Stephan. He's quite a famous YouTuber talking about finances.
I started watching Graham also.
In army.
Yeah, in army before he was like 200, 300 plus K subscribers.
When he was still quite new. Yes. He was roasting people the way they spend money. So I felt like a lot of times he was roasting me to see the way I spend money. Yeah. So that really was like the tipping point for me to realize, okay, I should start learning about investments. So up to now, I've been investing consistently in STI, which is a Straits Times Index. Straits Times Index is basically an index fund. An index fund basically, instead of putting your money into just one company, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You diversify into multiple companies. So STI has around 30 companies, if I'm not wrong, under their index. And basically, you're buying the Singapore's economy. So I've been doing this method known as dollar cost averaging, where per month you put in a sum of money. So let's say you have 5,000 to invest, right? You don't go in 1 month go and invest 5,000 because you do not know, you're not confident enough if that month
to time the market.
Yes, if that month's share price is high or low, you don't know. You never know. What if next month it go lower, right? So the safer way, or rather the more convenient method, instead of doing all the research, is 5,000 you split up over 2 years. So every month you put in some money, put in a few $100 like this. Yeah, so that at the end of the day you will still put in that 5,000, but stretch over many months.
I think now in this age, information is everywhere.
Yes.
Like so, dollar cost averaging. I think a lot of people also know about dollar cost averaging. Yeah, but I think the main difference because of all the information coming to you at once.
Yes, correct.
Is just executing.
Correct.
So a lot of people,
a lot consuming. A lot of them.
Yes, it's busy. The time spent on
planning, analyzing.
Yeah, that's right.
But
So
not doing anything.
I would say even if you want to do a full lump sum, or be it dollar cost averaging, the most important part is taking the first step and just going in full and try and test the water first. Invest a bit That's how everybody start. Few $100.
Yeah, lor. That's right.
You
Yeah.
don't have $300. Now even discount brokerage, you can do what per share, what $50.
Correct.
Find a good stock that
Yeah, lor.
learn how to do the fundamental analysis, this kind of thing. If not, you want to put in like what you said, STI or S&P 500
ETF or
ETF, right? Yeah,
It's a
so
basket.
you can buy a cheap one. Yeah.
Yeah, lor. That's why.
I also think so because sometimes when you dive into it, right, you'll be concerned on automatically, and
Yeah,
you will go
then
and
you'll
you
go
will go
read
and
up,
monitor
correct.
and you will see and you will learn.
You will learn.
Telling yourself that you will learn, right, and actually learning is different. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you start putting it in, right, you will learn.
Yeah, skin in the game,
Yeah.
they say. When you got
Correct,
something to
correct.
lose,
Yeah,
you know, when it
correct.
pains you, okay,
And you
then now
must
we start to
do a few weird things. So like for me, right, I that time I went, my colleague just asked me to jump into Dogecoin, so I just jumped. Okay, I earned, but it wasn't
How was it?
always okay lah. Like it's quite good. I entered quite low. I think I entered like that time 20 cents.
Okay.
So
you earned
I
quite
I
a lot.
never
Yeah,
follow
yeah.
Dogecoin, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
hope you can actually earn a
I
lot.
jumped a bit. Then after
But
I
you
got
buy
a bit
only.
greedy. Yeah, I bought also. Like I didn't know anything about
Same,
it.
same.
They just said buy out. Okay, lor. Just throw in a couple of hundreds.
Yeah.
But when you do it, then you will learn that okay, I need to do my study. Because
Yeah,
you see the
correct,
fluctuations
yeah,
like
that's right.
crazy. Like past few days, it went up without any reason. Then you're like, wait, what? Then you go and read, right? Then there's no reason one. Yeah, so a lot of these kind of
Crypto is
things.
like that one, crypto. It's
Yeah.
just volatile.
Right.
Yeah, actually similar to you. My first investment was also crypto. It was like I think Bitcoin, but it's after the hype. It's like you late really, but you still want to invest.
What, this year?
No, like was
2017?
2 years ago.
2 years
Yeah,
ago.
2 years ago. So that was during NS, but I know it's after the hype. Yeah.
Got hype man at the time?
There was one very
correct.
distinct hype, like that
Correct.
jumped like a lot.
Correct, a lot. Then after that, you got the bubble that it burst.
Okay.
Then it went down.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think mine was like the recovery phase.
Recovery.
Yeah.
So it was good. Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
was.
good for you ah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be good
for
lah. So I just follow my friend. My friend say, hey, this is not bad lah. So I asked him a lot of questions like, hey, last time how long you invest, all this kind of thing. So he tell me, oh, actually this is not bad. So I jump into it. Then suddenly the market not doing very well. So at the time I was like losing, but it's only few hundred. But then I started to realize the importance of like proper studying. You know, like
But how do you study crypto? Do you go study crypto?
Never. That's a mistake. That's the wake up call. So that's the wake up call. Is to do your proper study. Like then now I'm doing like STI ETF.
Okay.
So I think blue chips all that very safe. Rates also like to have banks. Correct. Big companies all that.
I think investing, correct. I think investing, the most important thing, the most important organ in your body is not the brain, but I think it's the stomach. Because how much you can stomach your loss is more important than how much you know about the market. Because the guy that don't know anything just put his money in anywhere for 10 years and don't touch anything. He's gonna outperform the fella that knows a lot of things and keep trying to buy and sell.
Correct.
I mean not trading, but investing, investing wise. Yeah. So yeah. So it's not. I don't think it's how much you know, because the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, I think if about 3 months you can learn everything. Really.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's when you put the money inside then see how much fear you can control and how much greed you can control also. Because it's always fear and greed, right?
It's down to human psychology.
Correct.
Because,
Psychology.
Like actually there's this sort of theory, actually like humans, we feel more when we lose.
Correct.
But we feel less when we gain, But actually,
yes, I've gone through the whole phase. Yes.
Like mathematically, it's both the same, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like things to like sort of game yourself.
Yeah. Theoretically,
counter,
it's very easy, right?
correct.
Once you see the next day the
It's like
market drop
gambling.
10%.
Where you want to sell? Where you want to sell now? Right?
Whatever
Yeah.
anybody say to you, you
Correct,
shut
correct.
off already.
Yeah,
You
that's
just
right.
want to sell. Yeah.
Correct. So how do you like stay disciplined? Like, do you have any tricks to like sort of rewire your brain or like give yourself
for investing?
Yeah, for investing.
I think it boils down to experience. So funny story. I have a friend that just started investing end of last year. So one day we just met up and to catch up. Then he suddenly asked me, "Hey bro, 我刚 start 3 weeks ago I just started investing. You know this stock or not? And by the way, it's a stock that is unprofitable one and no profits. Is a new high growth company.
Okay.
And it's shooting up on the uptrend.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of the Wall Street bet kind of stock.
Okay.
So he say, hey, you know this stock? I say, 什么来的？没有看过 never see before. He laughed at me. You don't know one you don't know how to invest
Yeah,
You don't know this stock. Because he was earning about I think 10K
Right.
from this stock,
Right.
from not knowing anything, and he just put 3 weeks because it's 1,000% profit in the 3 weeks one.
Oh, okay.
It's those
Like
crazy.
penny stocks.
Yeah, is it penny
sort
stock?
of. It's not penny lah, but
Oh,
it's
the high growth tech.
high growth tech. Yes, high growth.
Okay,
tech.
okay, yeah, got a lot of this.
It was a biotech firm. I think it was a biotech firm.
Okay,
Last year, because of all the vaccine news, so
Correct,
biotech
correct,
went
yeah.
on a good,
a lot of them.
good roll. Yeah. So that day end already. When the day end, he told me, "Hey bro, you go and learn about this stock." I said, "Okay, bro. You in 2 months, if you continue this on this row, then I congratulate you lah. How about that?"
You said that to him?
I said that to him. Yes.
Solid.
So about 4 months later, not 2 months later, I met him again. Okay, and at that point, what y'all guess what happened?
Gone.
Crash.
He ended up when I met him, he ended up owing the broker money.
How? Can man?
Can
You can borrow to
Oh, he go and
so he bought
borrow.
a margin.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Margin is dangerous.
That's dangerous, right?
Margin is dangerous.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Wow.
there's margin accounts, ma.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and it's not just him. It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people that we don't know also.
Yeah,
is doing that because they don't
They
have
follow the hype lah, basically.
follow the hype.
Correct.
Do the homework. Do the
Yes.
homework first.
Correct.
Do the homework first, then invest.
I agree. Actually, that's the most important thing.
Then after that,
Yeah, lor.
together with experience, and knowing that, because example, if today, let's say you put $100, you don't know anything about this stock, but you put $100, you just hear the news and they say it's good.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow it dropped to $50. What will you do?
Yeah. Okay. Do you continue holding or do you
Or
sell?
sell,
Yeah. Okay. That's why.
A
So-
smart aleck will tell me. I mean not smart aleck. A smart guy will tell me. I confirm hold one.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
confirm
But how
hold.
you know? Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
How you know?
So hold. Okay, let's say it's really fundamentally good lah. Let's say he really know what he's buying. It's fundamentally good, and it drops 50% the next day. What if it were you? What would you do? Can I just ask? Just out of curiosity.
It really depends. Depend on our study, lor.
It's a good fundamental. It's very undervalued now.
It pass your analysis.
Pass
Oh, pass
analysis
analysis.
criteria all hit. Yeah.
So okay, so there's different way lah.
Safe
Because
to buy.
this is if you do fundamental is quantitative, but there's also qualitative analysis, which is you buy into the CEO's vision, right? A company vision or something.
Okay, this one is a healthy company with profits.
Okay.
Not like example Tesla, where a lot of people are betting on the future, the super high. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm a Tesla shareholder, but I'm saying it's not this kind. So it's like example of Facebook, high profit, but today now Facebook is how much? About 300 plus. Let's say today you buy 300 plus, tomorrow drop to 150. What will you do?
I mean, it really depends case by case, but if that, then I will hold lah.
You hold, right?
Yeah. So the thing is like, how long do you want to invest your investment horizon? You know, if it's
correct.
very far, 10 years, all this sort of thing, then hold until then, no.
Correct.
Yeah. Right.
But if let's say today I tell you to put more money in, what will you put?
Maybe will because undervalued ma. So the market is either overly optimistic or overly pessimistic.
Yeah, that's
Right.
correct.
Yeah, lor.
So then next day drop another 10%, will you buy?
Then put even more. lah.
Put even more.
Yeah, like, if you believe. Yeah. So
Theoretical.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
This is the smart aleck you were talking about.
I was like that. I say, confirm put one. Wow, I see YouTube. Wow, it's like
No lah, but this one is based on your study. You must really trust your study lah.
If
With
you're-
that
if
amount
you're
of
confident of your
confidence.
own.
Yeah, that's right.
Correct.
Correct.
So
Not easy lah.
correct. Okay lah, because if you study properly, fundamental analysis
Correct.
it's really very simple. Just the
correct.
ratios,
But
the
there's-
discount ratio, all
correct,
the info that you take already, and based on because it's facts it's a
correct.
productive asset.
Yes,
So
correct.
it's not like gold where it doesn't run, it doesn't generate earnings. Yeah, so a company generate earnings, so you can know roughly or future projections is
Right.
going to be how much.
Right.
Uh,
Growth
then-
rate as well.
Yeah, growth
Yeah.
rate, the pack
Yeah.
ratio. Then for that you
Yeah.
look at the pack, right? Yeah. So correct. So you would say is continue putting, right?
Wait, but it really depends on
Correct,
the
but
study
once
lor.
the-
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean like I need the exact example lah. I cannot say for sure. So,
Yeah. By example, a general person,
Mm.
it would be easy to say. What I'm trying to say is it would be easy to say put continue
Yeah,
putting.
correct.
Easy
But
to
once
say.
you put money in,
Correct.
Because of the
it really
emotional
drop-
factor
Correct.
and-
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the most important part. I would say 70% of the
Yeah.
whole success in investing is training your emotions.
Mm.
Never be too gian, what they call it,
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
or too scared. When it's not right to sell, you go and sell.
Yeah, lor.
Follow the crowd.
It makes sense. I mean, the only flaw is like when you follow this system, it's like the human error. Your own,
exactly.
your own like misjudgment.
Your own biases.
Yeah, your own like intuition, all this kind of thing. You know, that's why I love one saying about psychology. It's like you never know what you will do until you are put into that situation. Like we can talk a lot of things, we can say a lot of things. All this very theoretical, but if given that situation, will you do it is another story. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I think for investments also, I think it's interesting also because very diverse in a sense. Like different people should have different philosophies. You see, there's no one set rule.
For sure.
Yeah, because if you have one set rule, right, it means that everyone's risk appetite is the same, everyone's greed is the same, that kind of thing. Or everyone's goals is the same. So I think it comes down to firstly self-awareness. Are you in a position where you can invest? That's the first thing. Yeah. So there's this thing that I follow, which is you invest only what you are okay to lose. Not that you think it will lose, but if it's a loss the other day, you still have some other backup. You still have some savings. Still some assets.
Like when you put inside, you must know that you already lost the money. I think that mindset is very strong. So same for gambling. That's why I did more gambling.
Correct. But the funny thing is, when you put in the bank, you are guaranteeing a loss also.
But many people are not aware. Many people
inflation,
are
I think now better. I think now better. More people, especially
because of FA
and Sing Life, Losing Life, and all that. Different companies that come in. Yeah. So if you the funny thing is, if we put in the bank, it's 0.0 something percent interest. I think
0.05.
0.05. But yearly inflation around 2%.
2% now.
Yeah, 2%. So as long as you can find something that's better than 2%, I would say it's already a win.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's already a win.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then you have to, okay, I think our age also at university, some people, I have friends who have savings, maybe from army or part-time work and all that. But they do not know what to do with those money. So they put in the bank and then they wait for 4 years later and then they want to pay off as school fees, uni fees. So what I will advise or what I will recommend, right, based on my own opinions, right, is that actually since you have that lump sum of money, you can take some of it to try investing, just like what you say, execute. Actually, when you share about how some people they analyze a lot of things, right, but then they don't act on it. I'm actually one of them. So you were just talking about me. Yeah. So for 2 years, I've been sharing with JJ all of the PEG ratio, the different industries, what is average PE ratio for whatever industry, buy price and all that. But I've never invested in a single individual stock before.
I see.
Because I think because I was too aware of like the losses and also because I'm running Lumie lessons. So I really cannot stomach that. Like what you say. I really cannot stomach that risk. So then I invest in safer options. So I would say there's really no right answer. You take the knowledge you know, but based on your own situation in your own life, you have to go and try and come up with a plan or try and figure out. That's what I would say.
I agree with what you say because like everyone have different risk appetite. You know, and then like everyone have different like how much time do you actually spend studying? How much do you trust yourself? You know. So if you don't spend much time studying, then you shouldn't really trust yourself.
But I think a lot of people are following the crowd, following the herd. So I think that's very dangerous. That's really very dangerous.
Starting wise, investing at the initial phase may have to study a bit more to know about all this. Let's say 3 months, but these 3 months can set you for life. I would say because from there you know what to do already. So you just have to review the white papers, the thank you, the quarterly reports, 10Ks, right? Then you know what to look out for. So about 1 month, I think I only spend about 1 hour reviewing my stocks.
You have an Excel sheet that
No, don't even have to. I use simply Wall Street, Finviz, Reuters, these websites. They automatically come out. The ratio, everything come out. Future growth rates, everything come out. I just see, uptrend, everything just buy.
I was a stupid one. I went
Excel. That's
I'll show my.
Okay, but that is good because I started there as well. Because that way you can understand, right? So you really know what the PEG ratio and how to the discount ratio.
So I literally go to Yahoo Finance and I find each individual companies.
One by one manually, copy paste.
So based on my analysis at the time, right? I analyzed like Apple, Tesla, and a few other companies. The only company that was actually earning money, in the sense that I think based on my formula I should buy was actually Facebook.
Facebook,
It was only Facebook. The rest were not growing as much.
I love Facebook.
But it was around 200 plus that time. That was 1 year ago. So now it's
1 year
300 plus.
ago, okay.
So it actually went up.
Yeah,
Actually went up.
yeah.
Okay, but now it's very easy to say like, if I invested then or
This is the kind of
hindsight
coffee
balance.
talks.
yeah, like
My favorite phrase is always, even for my property investment
Yeah,
clients, favorite thing I want to say, like I always say, is how I wish I can turn back the time.
for you. Hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, that's right.
For you, I'll do that. But I can't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but talking about property, right?
Mm.
You have only started for November until now. So it's like
no, May.
May.
Started May.
Oh, May until now.
3 months?
4 months, yeah.
3.5 months now?
So how has it been for you?
I would say, okay, in general,
yeah.
it's very fun to me,
Mm.
personally. It's very okay. Because in general, it's you don't have to answer to anybody, right?
Right.
And you
Answer
can
to
work
yourself.
any
You are your own
hours.
boss,
Yeah, you work any
yeah.
hours that you want. Yeah, but once you narrow down to the things that you do every day, which is
Right.
prospecting,
Correct.
the door knockings,
Yes,
the
correct,
cold
the cold
callings,
calling,
the
yes.
finding out where to generate leads,
Right.
and after that, that's the first part only.
Correct.
You still have to set appointment ready. Then what do? You go down, then
Sometimes they don't even turn up.
yeah,
right?
correct.
Sometimes they
So
ghost
the client will
you.
ghost you,
Yeah,
or
correct. Or they
whatever
scold
things
you
that
also,
happen. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a million scenarios that can happen. This is
Yeah.
because it's a person-to-person
Mm.
thing. There's
Correct.
no fix. It's
Yes,
not like
correct.
you are
Yeah, you're dealing with
auditor
humans.
or
Yeah,
tax
correct. You're not
accountant,
dealing with like data.
repetitive things. No,
Correct.
it's anything can happen.
Yeah.
It's an emotional,
Yeah,
whole
that's right.
journey kind of work.
Mm.
Yeah.
Has it been very difficult for you? Because I heard a lot of stories like,
Yes.
wow, like the customer
I-
sometimes just like scold,
Yes,
like
I heard
like
of
the
that. I mean,
salesman.
yeah.
They expect a lot and then they don't give anything, like all these type of stories. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely have some setbacks. Definitely.
Mm.
I burst a lot of deals really. Honestly. Yeah.
First of
But-
all, this as in.
burst a lot of, as in because of because I'm new Yeah. So
okay.
a lot of things I had to learn along the way.
Mm.
But it's like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like that. But it's very good. It's like I'm paying tuition fee for bursting a deal.
That's true. That's true.
Wow, it's an interesting
Yeah,
perspective.
that's right.
Right. You must have this perspective.
Yes,
Because some
correct,
people
correct.
will some people have this get rich quick mindset.
Not some people, it's most people that join the.
Yeah,
join
I'm
the
being
real
friendly
estate.
lah with the audience here. In case someone feel offended, no, just kidding. Yeah, but as in they have this get rich quick scheme mindset because maybe they see, hey, when people post things on social media, it is the highlight of their lives, right? You don't see a FA that is having a shit year and post about his shit year. You don't see that. You only see the highlights, and some people will see, hey, this guy is 23, 24, 25, got a car and all this. So they have this mindset of 3 months in, I should. But your
love
mindset
it,
is,
love it,
your mindset
yeah.
is right on same going in.
Sustainability mindset. lah.
It's, because on
It's like
the
infinite
social
gain.
media confirm is nice one 嘛 ，where got people
Correct,
放
correct.
不明的
Yeah,
东西
that's
的。
right.
看我自己也是每天，oh just finish grinding man. Like, oh, I love it. But I really I don't lie lah. It's really I love spending time with talking
Yeah.
with the people
Mm.
because in a way I know how to talk to the people by following
Yeah.
my system,
Right.
which I found from different sources. So that is the hard
correct,
part,
correct.
finding the system
Yes.
and building the system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like building your own system.
Correct. Because
Yeah.
if not, you'll get burnt out very easily. Imagine every day if you don't have a system, then you face clients or potential clients that.
Yeah. The default will be just be emotional.
Correct.
You know,
So
you just
scold
get face
clients,
value.
these people that scold you. Oh, I face these kind of things every
Yeah,
day.
correct.
Like, they're getting slapped. Wake up, you get slapped in the face. Slap in the face. Wow.
You call them to meet up to get slapped in the
Correct,
face.
correct, yeah.
Correct.
Because
Because
the
it's
hardest part of salesman, I think.
Yeah.
you know.
So because that is the perspective.
Mm.
For me, it's not hard because, like I said, my system. No.
It's not a slap to you. It's more like you just
It's a
form
part and
group,
parcel.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel. As in,
like
you
a
have
expected this.
Yeah, lor.
expected. Yes, you have to understand that there are so many scenarios. It's a numbers game, right? So, example, personally, I my prospecting methods is cold calling, right, or door knocking.
Right.
So, why most agents or new agents, right, may struggle. I'll say may.
Yes.
I don't know all, but what I'm seeing on the ground is because they get very demoralized.
Correct. You're
And-
not used to the amount of rejection.
Yes,
like,
you face rejection every day.
99 no's.
yeah.
I think by half of them you cannot already.
Correct. So imagine you have to knock one whole block in one night.
Wow.
And only not even 1%. The percentage of people that are really on the spot you knock and they're ready to sell is close to none. It's there, but it's like I would say
Less than 1%.
less than 1%. Yes, really less than 0.5%. I'll say around there. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say, yeah. So they get very demoralized. But because of the perspective that the intention is to go there and set an appointment,
Correct.
that's why some people may get demoralized. Yeah, right. Because imagine every day you go and knock, then
The expectation is so high.
yeah,
Yes,
expectation
correct.
you
Wrong
keep,
expectation.
your expectation it's
Then
not wrong.
disappointment is
It's,
also very high.
it's not wrong because we really want to set the appointment and we really need to make money, right?
Yes, correct.
But what I'm saying is, why not you go in and try to make a friend first, right? So my perspective, I mean my my strategy is
Yes.
going in, make a friend, right? Because your intention ultimately is of course get the appointment and close the deal, right? But how do you do that? You what's that called? You
Back engineer.
reverse engineer.
Yeah,
Reverse
exactly.
engineer. Yeah, you reverse engineer. So how do you get the appointment? You want to get someone's trust, right?
Correct.
To help you do the deal. So how do you get trust?
You have to know them. For a
You
bit of
yes,
time.
make them feel comfortable. So how do you make people feel comfortable? You create a friend
Yes,
first,
correct.
right? So that's what I'm saying. Why not you go in and make a friend first and forget the intention? Because if you have an intention, you have a motive before you even meet the person,
Correct.
people can see right through one.
That's
Yeah,
true.
people can see right through.
Yeah. Okay. It changes your words, changes your action as well.
Yeah, correct. So that's why I can, for myself, I would say I have a higher hit rate of getting numbers and getting to know the people there. Because first thing I go there is, what can I do for you? Just introducing myself and also the things that you say must also be the right things to say.
Yes, correct.
Right? It's not just saying shit. Hey, numbers game, but you don't go and 1,000. You must have the quality.
Yeah,
Because if not, it's like you're a pail with a leak, and
correct.
the water will drip out.
Yes,
you must have the thing
Quality,
that the quality
to retain it.
to retain. Correct. Yeah. So when you go in, the things to say is not like the typical agent will say, oh, buy and sell. Hey,
有没有卖屋子？
你有没有卖屋子？
对
你们想要卖屋子？ Yeah, it's so annoying. Every day I have agents coming and saying that to me. I wouldn't even want to entertain you.
Correct.
Yeah. So you must be different, no?
How do you go about being different though? Like you're not on the door, right?
Yeah.
And like what is like the first few things that you actually say or share with the person?
That is actually a secret sauce.
Yeah.
I share with my paraphrase version. Like, I share with my team but
Yeah, the proprietary information.
no,
intellectual
no,
property.
it's not proprietary. It's just that it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's okay, really. So when I go in, first thing I introduce myself, of course. Hello, Damien, and it's the tonality. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. Also.
Correct.
Hello.
Agree.
I know. You can see the expression. If they open,
Grumpy.
hey, first thing you feel sorry already. Say,
Yeah.
sorry to bother. My name is Damien.
Yeah.
From Prop next year. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Ah,
Say, just here to see if there's anything I can do for you. Something like that.
Yeah.
But of course, it's a bit longer. Correct. Then, go from there.
It's playing with the emotions. I think like this is very similar to any sales position. I think many people think that sales is a formula, but then it's not. So there is formula involved. There are
It's both
formulas,
an art and
but
science.
it's really an
It's
art
a complex formula.
it's very
It's not so
complex because you have to
straightforward,
read the person's
correct.
like Damien say, right? People open the door, you need to be able to gauge if they are
Correct.
what
They're
kind of
interested,
emotions they are
they're
in.
grumpy, and then you act accordingly to that, right?
Correct. So all these kind of things, right? Even if
Correct.
like we pass you like a pen and paper with all the formulas, right?
You
The person
can't
who is
also-
not seasoned and not experienced
Correct.
do it right. The result different one.
Yeah.
Really different.
But I'm also not experienced and I'm
Yeah.
not seasoned. But what I do is I consistently prospecting is only 3 hours a day effective time. I do from 4:30 to 6:30 when
Right.
people are less productive in the work. Now it's work from home. So when I
yeah.
cold call or door knock, I do that time and also 8 to 9, 8 to 9:30.
Yeah.
So it's about 3-4 hours a day only.
Right.
Yeah. So what do I do the rest of my time?
Reflecting and analyzing.
Yeah. Watching training videos.
I see.
Watching coaches,
Right.
real estate coaches. You got so many coaches and resources
Right,
you can
correct.
get from. For agents out there, you can there's your Gary Kellers, your Tom Hopkins, your Tim Ferry, Tom Ferry, these kind of people. Ryan Serhan, everybody knows. You go and every day repeat the process. And also, I'm very lucky to have a team that my leader Jervis he's Jervis, and I'm from this thing called JNA. We have our own training videos of how to do stuff. So almost every day, I'll watch the videos. And in the car, I don't listen to radio. I listen to podcasts, audio podcasts, to channel, know, to reflect and know how I can do better later. Right?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because like it's not really about doing. You can do a lot, but then your commercial is low.
Quality of
correct. If you don't reflect, you don't learn. You don't
doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, correct.
Get the same results.
Yeah, so all these like when people say
you're wasting the leads.
Correct.
Yeah, you're wasting the leads. Yeah.
So when people say experience also.
Correct. Because every number is a lead. Must remember, one number is worth about 10 to 20 transactions over the time span of your life. Right? Even though they don't close now, it's okay. Keep in touch.
Correct.
Then keep in touch. I don't know how your follow-up process is like. Maybe you want to call them. For me, I send newsletters. So every week I will send a newsletter. It's a very short one, so it's not very draining for the people to watch. It's just something out there. Then everywhere I send. So I follow a coach that does that, and his newsletter is his leads he's $1 million agent every year. So his leads all come from the weekly newsletter, and he does zero prospecting now because his database is so big that he calls so much.
Generates itself, warm market.
Yes. So his motto is getting. My motto is also getting 5 friends a day, knowing 5 friends a day, getting 5 numbers, and anything I do more than that, right, is a bonus. So after 5 numbers, I can pang gang, I can go home already. So sometimes 1 hour I can get 5 numbers.
I think our mindset is just at the right place. A lot of people, their mindset is off. Because they go into, I won't say just property. I see people that want to start business. I have been there as an entrepreneur myself. So I think because we have emotions, humans, we always think we're very rational. Very we do all our thinking already. But when you go into something like starting a business, or at the end of the day, you are carrying a lot of baggages. You want to prove something. You are going against the grain, And sometimes you have all these notions that you have within yourself also. So I think your mindset is just right. Instead of thinking of I need to close the deal today, I need to set an appointment today, I just want to make 5 friends.
That is the intention. I also want to close the deal.
Not saying you don't want, but it's just
it's like paradox of success,
correct.
Money, correct. Like the more successful you would think you want to be, right, the less like money you actually get it for. So I would say like the more desperate you are chasing the money.
I think it's also the perspective. Ultimately, is what can sustain you longer because
that's a good point.
I got friends that tell me, I told them this, okay, why not make a friend? They said, I want to find out who want to sell today. So that is their way. I'm not saying that is not successful. There is so many different ways that you can do that become successful also. But what I'm saying is,
what is more sustainable?
What is sustainable so you don't burn out?
Correct.
Imagine how can I burn out? I don't burn out because my intention is just to find friends, and my strategy is just make 5 friends and call it a day. How can a guy get burned out? Getting out of the office,
making friends.
Getting out of the office like what, 1 hour, go in the office 1 hour, come out.
Introverts will get burned out. Actually, introverted.
There's a person in my team. He's an extreme introvert. From what he said, nerd, very nerd, RI scholar. This kind. He made
property agent.
Property agent. I'm not sure why also, but he's
my senior.
He's my senior. My leader is also from RI. Jervis, but I think he's still studying, but most of the time he's spending on the business lah. But he also on the side say 书不用读的啦. If we are doing this one, that's what he told me lah. But I mean I already know that I don't need to go for uni. Correct. But I mean not saying don't go uni. Uni is good if you need it.
It depends on your route lah. Uni is safe. If you don't really know what you want to do, all this sort of thing, and if your goal is very against it, then you do it. But then if you are out of it, then you're sort of like making a risky move, because you're out of the system. But doesn't mean you won't do well. Whether do well or not, it's up to you. How much effort you put in, your own system, your own framework, your mindset. Yeah.
I think our whole conversation, like for like the past like 10 couple of minutes, right, are all like very revolved around intention. I think that's what I'm hearing lah. Yeah, because like if for example intention on what you want to do and what you want to achieve in the end, you have a greater like picture of what you want in the end, and then these are small steps that you already assigned and you want to go towards that.
Correct.
Same for uni.
Lay the brick. You want to build a wall, right? You because nowadays everything is online and it's like you're seeing people at level 20.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
When you're at level 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
You don't see them at level 1 also.
Correct. So what you want to do is they are like a wall, right? You just focus on building that brick. Laying that brick. This is Will Smith's quote lah. Something that I found very helpful for me. Which is laying the brick every day. So every day just focus on laying the brick as perfectly as you can. Then next day just lay another perfect. One day you'll become a very nice wall. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Focus on the next step, you know,
yes.
not the whole thing, right? Because if you're
Small
flustered, then you know. I mean, Chinese there's this saying, 你要积极不要着急, right? You know, so it's like,
What does that mean?
you cannot be anxious, you must be enthusiastic.
Chinese not
Yeah, my Chinese is shit.
Okay,
Founder of a tuition company. Chinese is
okay, lucky you don't teach Chinese.
Yeah,
that's why my
Chinese out of the syllabus.
that's why my company don't teach Chinese.
But actually introvert also can do very well. Like what I was saying just now, my senior, his name is Chris. He 500 in half a year I think he earned about 500 plus K. Which is not bad.
Not bad. It's very
Very good.
Yeah. And in his first year.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So it was about half a year lah. Sorry, Chris, if you're watching, maybe it's half a year to 1 year. But I remember it was half a year.
Right.
Yeah, from what other people tell me.
But do you think that like, I'm just curious, right? Because I always hear that, you know, property, right? Other than hard work, of course, consistency and everything else, right? Like, do you think like luck plays a factor also? Right. Does it like how much does it impact your work?
Okay. There's a saying: the harder you work, the luckier you get, right?
Yes.
But also I think there's an element of luck that you might want to have. It's very grey because for me I'm lucky because I got to know of the coach to teach me these skills, not because I'm lucky to have the deal.
Correct.
But I'm lucky to have the resources.
Right.
That's the luck I'm trying to say.
Right.
That plays a part. The luck that I have a car that lucky enough that I have the money to go and have a car and drive around, right? To make clients.
Awesome. They say luck is just preparation meeting opportunity.
Correct.
So if you have prepared,
If you're talking about luck as in meeting of clients and this prospecting wise, I would say the harder you work, the luckier you get because it's really a numbers.
Or you create your own luck.
Yeah, you create your own luck by perfecting your craft. So when you have the lead, you don't go and waste it by saying something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
is there anything you would like to share with property agents? Maybe people that are like you, young and wanting to jump into this career. Is there anything any encouragement you want to give to them?
I would say I'm 22, so I'm one of the youngest in the whole PropMax, but there is younger than me also because the cutoff is 21. Yeah, so I have a bunch of friends also 21 years old, doing very well also. Yeah, monthly can hit 50,000, 100,000 also. Yeah, so my leader also, his first month in the business, 100k, 170k.
First month in the business.
First month in the business.
Oh.
First month in the business. So yeah, who says you can't make money? But the process focus on the process first. And commission is something you can't control because just nice if the client wants to buy this unit in this house, the comms by the developer is let's say 5%, which is a lot, right? And the quantum is very high. Then you earn like let's say 500,000 in 1 month, compared to an experienced agent that earn like 100k a month consistently, which is also very good. But can you tell me this guy is a better agent than him just because he earned more? Because you can't control the commissions. So I think a lot of leaders also preach that okay, your target this year is 500k in commissions. Yeah, for new agents,
how do you?
You can't control it.
Correct. That's right.
But what you can control is the number of calls you make. Yeah, your system. Wake up early if you can. You know, you can control waking up early. That's something Ryan Serhan says. Ryan Serhan, this Gary Keller, these kind of people wake up 5 a.m. every day. Yeah, if not, why they are so successful? Because they work very hard. That's why they get so lucky with getting opportunities.
Mm.
Yeah. So if we focus on the commission, I totally don't focus on commission at all. Just focus on what I can do every day. Lay the brick, lay the brick as perfectly as I can every day. So, yeah.
Oh, that's
Right.
good.
If not, you get burnout. Because
Yeah.
you won't hit one. You
Correct.
won't know whether you will hit.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a byproduct, I think, like the
Correct, it's a
commission, of like success.
I think you mentioned about like how waking up early, right, and being like consistent, laying the brick.
Yeah.
Like what do you do every day? Because I do follow your Instagram, right? I do see like consistency happening, right? Very consistent. I know you have to squeeze a workout almost every day. Then after you do many other things in between. Like planning of your time also. I think just now you mentioned, right?
Correct.
You maximize that time that you allocate, which I find is very important. That is a skill I wish I had earlier. Cause like it's only like maybe like up to this like 2-3 years when I started studying, then I realized wow that is
Don't have
gold.
enough time.
Because if you focus on 1 hour, right, doing that work, right, it's a lot better than you spend 4 hours thinking you have a lot of time finishing that.
Yeah.
You give yourself a set timeline, right? So but how does your day look like in general?
I think just now you mentioned Graham Stephan, right? So I follow him since 2019. So he have a lot of these type of tips and tricks. So one of the videos he mentioned about 4-hour work week, that book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I read that book
I went to read that book. So which is about time management. Yeah. And part of it is time management lah, but part of it is
System optimization.
your system, the amount of money you should systemize to earn per hour, not the amount of hours you work. Because first thing, let's say a bus driver, he earns $10 per hour. Let's say, no matter how hard he works, right? You must know, even if he works 24 hours a day, right, he's still gonna earn
Correct.
like
Doesn't scale.
5K a month at max. It doesn't scale.
It's always proportional.
Correct. So that's one part of the 4-hour week that he talks about, something like that. Yeah. But I don't think he used the bus driver as the example. Yeah. But time management is very good because you wouldn't think it's, a lot of people don't think it's important, because I understand also, and I don't think it's important. But at least it gives me a wake up call every single hour. Like, okay, next thing I need to do this, next thing I need to do this. Okay, I know already. If not, I don't know. Sometimes I forget to plan also, and I don't plan. And I am human also, I make mistakes also. So I would laze and watch some videos.
YouTube.
Instagram.
Instagram.
Not every day. I work about, I would say, consistently, honestly, 4 to 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week, I'm consistent. But the other 2 days, I want to rest lah.
I mean,
That's
also,
very tiring.
also human, also
correct.
need. Yeah, that's why.
So I do slack everything. Yeah, I do chill.
Good lah, yeah. Because it's not like if you constantly work, I think you will burn out.
Correct lah. But for me, honestly, I think it's okay, because like I said, if I work few hours a day only, how can a person burn out from working 3 hours in the office, go in and come
Yeah,
out?
as long as making friends.
Making friends some more. Yeah. Okay, and one thing I think many new agents face, especially, is getting rejected. Yeah. So for me, that is a very big problem that a lot of agents have. Yeah, because
Correct.
I personally at the start I'm only in this industry 3 months.
Yes, right.
So the first month is very, I want to cry sometimes really.
Yeah, that's why.
Especially when I'm alone at home calling and in front of me is a wall. And like the do not call register, because I didn't scrub the numbers that time. So I went to call the DNC people accidentally. Then so kena scold, but that is, I deserve it lah, because I didn't scrub. Now I scrub already.
Because got that rule, right? Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so other than those people, a lot of people will be rude also when you call. Yeah, so how do you face that? You have the intention. So how do you face that is that you have the intention of making a friend, not trying to close them. Because if your intention is trying to close them, when they are rude, you cannot voice out your opinion. You cannot stand for yourself, your own dignity. You cannot put it out there.
Correct.
Because you are like trying to get the deal,
Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And
that affects you a lot.
And that affects you because it demoralizes you. You feel like
Correct.
you are what kind of being am I?
Yeah.
But
That's right.
if your intention is of making a friend, right?
Yeah.
You can. It's like you can show what I would usually say. I'll show you why are you being so rude. I was polite. I was everything. What's going on? Why are you so rude? I was polite. I was trying to make a friend, trying to make a relationship.
Yeah.
You make it seem like it's their loss.
I see.
Yeah.
You
And
change
then-
the dynamics, right?
Correct.
It's like
Yeah.
customer salesperson versus like friend to friend.
Correct.
Yeah.
So over time you'll be numb.
Correct.
So very rude. Somebody just cut it. this guy, why so rude to me?
Yeah.
You know, then next one.
It makes sense. Because some of them, they are like actually illogical, you know, they expect a lot, all sort of thing, they just throw a shit. But then when you tell them like, hey, actually, what's wrong right, with you? Then they start to reflect, oh, actually true. Why am I so angry, right? Yeah, that's why. Sometimes they just need like a wake up call. You know.
I think the time management part is very interesting as well, because I think a lot of people see the time management part as maybe just practical use. So the more I work, the more practical I get, right? The more I get done. I think what people, and this is something I've recently realized, that what many of us don't see, right, is actually the emotional aspects that come along with having a good day, right? Like, oh, I supposed to have this to-do list, and I strike it off. That the day after that you felt, you feel like, oh, very confident. Because confidence is not about, everything else, but you make promises to yourself and you actually walk through the promises that you have made to yourself. Because at the end of the day, I'm someone that I can count on. When I set my day for tomorrow, I make sure I'm gonna do it, no matter how I feel at that time. So I think that's very, very interesting. Yeah, and I also, the other thing is actually, where do you get all these sort of motivation from? Because it's very interesting. Because there are property agents that I know, friends now, not a lot, but there are friends that I know that, and also work in a FA in the kind of industry.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, they have done like maybe 1 year, 2 years, but they have never had that sort of perspective. But you came in 1 month, right after that. Is it because of your mom? She gave you some advice in that respect, or was it?
Not really. My mom's side, I would say I would usually be the one motivating her. Say, Amy, 你没有在做。Amy, do more like, because now she's like semi-retired already. She's been for 16 years already, ma.
Wow.
Yeah, so 15, 16 years. So when I see her morning wake up, yoga. Her schedule now is just gardening, yoga, walking the dog.
That's the life.
That's the life, right? But I would say, hey, what you're doing, everybody is closing deals. You're wasting the opportunity. Yeah. So there's sometimes I say that. Because
I see.
I'm own self personally
correct.
in that mode.
Yes, correct.
I see. Motivation wise, I would say I was pretty honestly, I'm very straightforward. So I would just say I'm insecure. I'm insecure since young, because my grades wasn't the best. I went to a neighborhood school, and I always felt inferior because every time that I'm in the car since young,
Correct.
when I see a BMW drive past or a Ferrari drive past, I always think, why? Actually, it's not just insecure; it's insecure plus. I feel like, why? I'm curious. I'm a very curious person, so I think why this person can get this car, and what can I get it? Can I get it also? So I will just keep questioning myself. So I become very curious. And once you get curious, you get creative. Then once you're creative, then you start searching for the answer.
I see.
So just nice, internet boom now, so everything can be found online.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, Gary Keller, a lot of people, just a lot of people that I watch. Yeah. Then slowly fine tune. And even now I'm just scratching the surface, right? I just started in the industry.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm still learning also.
But you have a wealth of experience really. Just 3
Yeah,
months.
just 3 months, just very fast.
Okay lah.
yeah, it's good. Yeah. Personally, I also watch quite a lot of YouTubers. I mean, not YouTubers, but they business leaders that I really follow. One of them is Gary Vaynerchuk. So he has this philosophy, I think very similar to whatever we've talked about numbers game in a sense. So at the end of the day, you just have to execute. You can plan as long as you want, but if you do not execute, you never know.
Right.
And then when you execute, you also start learning,
Yes.
and you become better. So knowledge can also compound.
Correct.
In that sense also. So talking about numbers game, I was also watching this interview of this person called Irene Ang. So Goh Chu Kang's wife. So she was actually a salesperson last time before she entered into showbiz.
Can tell.
A salesperson. And she said one thing. She said her mentor taught her this one thing about numbers game. She said, if one day I just, actually very similar. Actually, one day if I just talk to 10 people, right? Even if only 10% of closing chance, right? 1 out of 10 people, every day one sale is already very good. It's already very good. Yeah. So actually, it's a probability, it's a math.
Yeah, which is something I want to touch on is focus on. For me, I don't focus on what results I get this year, the production.
Right.
Because numbers game, it takes time to
Correct.
add together. It's not one day. That's why if you're focused on build the brick, but know that your goal is not. It doesn't need to be this year. If it's this year, good, because you deserve it lah. You work very hard also.
Correct.
But even if you work hard and the result doesn't show instantly, right?
Yeah.
It's like that one. It's the
Correct,
process.
correct.
From I'm quoting. I'm not saying this based on my experience. I'm quoting from past successful people.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Yes, correct.
what one of my coach say is focus on 2024. Don't focus on 2021 because you can't control what happens in 2021.
Correct.
Just like stock market, short term market is irrational. But
Mm.
over the long term, your
Then you have
fundamental
a trend
value
already,
catches up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You know, because the thing is, actually, you can be doing all the right things, but you may not have results yet.
Yeah.
You know,
correct.
so you don't know when it will come. Right? It can come next year, but that doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing.
You
Can
see
be
the
right, yeah.
diamond meme, the digging the diamond.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, it's before reaching then they
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
yeah. That's
It's
right.
a
yeah,
waste.
correct.
It sucks,
Yeah,
man.
it's
Honestly, it sucks when I
Yeah,
see
that's right.
people that are really have the desire
Yes,
to
correct.
do that.
They're doing
but
everything right already. but
they don't know when to how to continue
correct.
because it really sucks.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I think on that note, right, I think you mentioned about like how we should not give up before reaching our goals, and then you talk about long-term planning, like what you can plan in 2024. So on that note, like what do you have in plans from now till 2024? Other than constantly grinding, is there any like personal goals that you have to share?
Yeah, monetary goals first.
Anything, any
I'll
goals?
say-
We are open. We are open to hear anything.
I would want to stay. I don't know why I have an affinity with Bukit Timah. I really like Bukit Timah. Maybe it's the air, very fresh, and everybody's very friendly there. Because every day smell the fresh air. But funny thing is, my favorite restaurants are people that I know that I am friendly with.
Yeah.
All in Bukit Timah. So and I also like that. So my personal goal for 2023, end of 2023, is to have a landed house there. Buy a landed house
Nice.
there. Yeah.
Wow, nice.
So and have at least 500,000 in stock market portfolio around there.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
So when your house comes in 2023, we'll do a house tour.
Okay.
Bring out the
We rent one of the rooms
okay.
there.
Yeah.
You can do it in
Podcast
house.
So we bring our cam and instead of a podcast, we do a special episode of our house tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure that is really possible. I mean, with all the hard work and discipline that you have, and we are looking forward to that as well. So on that note, we'd like to thank Damien so much for coming down
Thank you,
today,
Damien.
Thank you
giving
so
us so much
much.
time. Yeah, and it was really helpful. So do
Hopefully.
follow us. And of course, we will leave Damien's social media handle down in the description below. You are able to look for him for any like property related matters. And we can't wait to feature our next guest very soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.